Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, our voice of radio. So today, we need to have a chat about the World Championships. And we need to have a chat about the fact that people are not happy about the World Championships. Because, well, no, that's a lie. There are many things about the World Championships about which people are very happy indeed. What people are not happy about is spectator tickets and the Pokémon Center, because it's all being done on a lottery system. And we're going to chat about why it has to be done on a lottery system, but it is not making people terribly happy, unfortunately. Let's have a chat, shall we? So the news did come out yesterday, spectator badges for the World Championships. Sign up for the interest list. Add yourself to the interest list to register for a spectator badge via the link below before June the 7th at 11:59 PDT. That is really important. If you want to go to the World Championships, there's a few different ways you can do so. You can be a competitor, at which point you will have a competitor badge. You will be able to compete at the World Championships. Job's a good un. If you do not have a competitor badge, you might have some other way to get in. If you don't have some other way to get in, you are going to need a spectator badge. If you don't have a spectator badge, you won't be able to get into the venue. It is not open to the public like that. It is open to the public who have a pass of some description to actually get in and take part. That is very important. You cannot just go along without any kind of pass and get into the building. The building is going to be extremely busy. It is going to be at capacity. You are going to need a pass of some description to get into the World Championships. And the deal is generally pretty simple, right? If you've got a pass other than a spectator, you should know. If you've qualified for the World Championships, that probably didn't happen by accident. You probably earned your space at the World Championships. What that means is, if you don't know that you've got a pass, you almost certainly don't have a pass. So for that reason, you need to make sure that if you don't have a pass in any other way, that you are getting yourself over there and joining the queue, so to speak, to try and get yourself a spectator badge. No, it is not going to be easy for everybody. For that, I can only apologize, but this is the way they're doing it. Once the deadline has passed, there will be a randomized draw of the individuals on the interest list to select a certain number of individuals who can then register for a spectator badge. Please note that the number of individuals who sign up to the interest list may exceed the number of spectator badges available. I think it is extremely likely personally that this is going to happen, in which case only a selection of individuals from the interest list will be available to register for a spectator badge. If you register and are contacted, it will happen on June the 8th. You'll be contacted by email, and you'll have 72 hours to register and pay for your spectator badge. If you don't do so within that window, then the next person on the interest list will be contacted. This is very important. All individuals selected will be contacted by email and will be given a 72-hour window to register and pay for their spectator badges. What that means is, in the initial run, if you are not contacted, there is still a chance that you will be. So if it comes around to June the 8th and you're not contacted, essentially give it 72 hours. Because after 72 hours, they are going to cut the people off who haven't registered and make them available for more people. So if you're not in that initial run, don't lose heart. Give yourself at least 72 hours. It might happen again. For those who are selected, the registration fee for a single spectator badge is 2,000 yen, including tax, for an attendee over the age of 5. Now, in the UK, that's pretty much exactly £12. As it stands at the moment, 1,000 yen is £6. If you're over in the US, it is going to be obviously not exactly the same. Not all currencies are the same. I'm sure you've all already figured that one out. Over in the US, this is going to be something more along the lines of about $14. A little bit of rounding here, but you get the point. So, yeah. Why are you paying in yen? Because Worlds is in Japan this year. It is an event which is running in Japan. Obviously, you're going to be paying in a Japanese currency for spectator badges in an event which is happening in Japan. That makes perfect sense. Registration fees are non-refundable and non-transferable, and a maximum of 2 spectator badges can be purchased at one time. All spectators will receive 2 booster packs, subject to change, when they pick up their badges. No additional spectator badges will be sold on site, and no passes will be released for sale online during the event. This is actually very, very, very important. Now, in terms of the booster packs, that's basically to make it free. Now, it's not entirely free, because obviously you're still actually like paying for them, but giving yourself a couple of booster packs for registering, I know it's not exactly the cost of a pass, but that's kind of how they do it. It's to stop people just randomly signing up if you don't have to pay. More people would sign up speculatively. By charging you a little bit and only giving you the packs when you pick up the pass, that stops some people registering who really shouldn't be registering. So that makes perfect sense. They will not be selling others. You will need to be on site to pick up your pass. You will not be able to buy them on the site or online at the day. What that means is, if you want a spectator pass, you have to register online, you have to be selected and respond, and then you have to pick up your passes in person in Yokohama at the World Championships in Japan. Simple as that. They will not be selling them on site. Yes, there is obviously a chance, and I would say an incredibly high chance, that some people will register for spectator passes, pay, and not end up picking them up. They aren't selling them on site. They can't sell them on site. Selling them on site would just create some kind of mad rush, and it would go badly. It would be a terrible, terrible idea. So yes, I'm thinking the same as you. Hang on a second. Some people won't pick up the passes. Surely they'll have spare passes. I agree, but there is absolutely no way they could sell them on site, even if they were just a few leftover ones. That would just create, that would be a bad thing. People would be rushing over there without any kind of pass, desperate to try and pick them up. It would be a disaster. It wouldn't work. You cannot sell extra passes on site, even if there are a few left over. That would be a disaster. So what are your choices then? Well, there are a couple of other things going on here. Basically, remember that everybody can buy 2 passes, so maybe you have a friend who registered and only needs 1 pass. One of the questions I had was whether competitors will be able to actually get spectator passes like they have in years past. Well, a fairly well-known player already did ask this question over on Twitter, and RK9 Labs, the people who are handing out the passes, said, "We can confirm that competitors will get 2 spectator badges in addition to their competitor badge. So every person who is playing is going to get a pair of spectator passes in addition to their competitor pass. So if you do have a friend who is playing who already has their invite, they might be able to let you have one of their spectator passes. That's literally the point of giving players spectator passes, so that their family and people that travel with them can come and watch them play in the event. That is why competitors get spectator badges. Outside of that, you have to try your luck with the lottery. Now, I know that some people don't like that it's a lottery, and this is perfectly understandable. All I can say to you is, I think an awful lot of people out there are really, really, really underestimating quite how popular Worlds in Japan is going to be. I think some people out there are really underestimating the demand for these spectator passes and how many people are going to try and turn up. They cannot just have hundreds and hundreds of people without passes turning up to the event. If they make it first come, first served, there is going to be a mad dash on the website. The website is going to crash from traffic, and people are going to complain about the terrible management of the system to give out these spectator passes. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it has to be a lottery system, because this is the only way it is going to work. If they don't do a lottery system, the site is going to crash. There is going to be one time that is going to have to be there to go and get your passes, and there are going to be some people who live in a time zone for which it's incredibly inconvenient, and they are going to end up in a terrible position. It has to be a lottery system to make it fair for people in different time zones, to make sure that it's not my internet cut out and I couldn't get one, to make sure that it's not a mad dash that crashes a website. It has to be a lottery system. It just has to be. And I've already seen dozens and dozens of tweets and other posts from people who are absolutely furious that it is done by a lottery system. Why can't it be first come, first serve like it's been in previous years? And my answer to you guys is really simple. People who think it should be first come, first served are massively underestimating the demand for Spectator passes this year. This was the only way it was ever going to work. Now, along very similar lines, we also have a lottery system for the Pokémon Center. For the first ever time, the Pokémon World Championships is heading to Japan, and to celebrate, the Pokémon Center World Store will be open alongside the tournament. How cool is that? I think very cool indeed. I am a big fan of this. I am hoping to go and visit this store just like you guys are. But just like we saw, it is going to be a lottery system. Now, it is actually going to be open. Worlds is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is actually going to be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is actually going to be open for 5 days. That is 1 day more, if memory serves. As always, correct me in the comment section if I am misremembering. But that is actually one extra day than we saw it open for the World Championships in London last year, which is fantastic. Because people want to get in. That's kind of the whole point here. So, by opening it for 5 days, does it guarantee that every single person that wants to get in is going to get in? No. No, it doesn't. Does it, however, massively increase the number of people that are going to be able to make it in? Yes. Yes, it does. The store will feature 2 lines of World Championships exclusive merchandise. They did that last year. They had the Worlds line and the London line, as well as a curated selection of products from Pokémon Center. It's going to be really interesting to see. It is, one would imagine, it's going to be like it was last year with largely, Western Pokémon products from like the Pokémon Center US, UK, and Canada. But it's being held in Japan, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they do it. How do you attend? Well, it's going to be open to the general public, but you will need to enter the lottery to secure a time slot. More information will be revealed soon. They've not actually revealed exactly how that's going to happen. And my answer to why it has to be a lottery is exactly the same as my answer was a moment ago. This is not something that you need a particular pass to attend like Worlds. This is something which is open to the general public. Pokemon is a pretty big deal in Japan. There are many fans of Pokemon in Japan. Yokohama is a city which is just a little bit south of Tokyo. It is pretty easy to travel from Tokyo to Yokohama. Tokyo has a lot of people, and Yokohama has a lot of people. And there are other Japanese cities that are not that far away from Yokohama that have a lot of people who are Pokemon fans. This is going to be an absurdly busy Pokémon Center. It is going to be ridiculously sought after. People are going to want to get in. And as I explained a minute ago, I'm not just going to repeat the point I just made. It has to be a lottery system. It wouldn't work otherwise. It's got to be a lottery system. And I know a bunch of people are angry that both Spectator tickets and Pokémon Center is done by a lottery system. And I know that there are going to be people out there that are unsuccessful for the lottery for both. And all I can say is you have my sympathy, because that sucks. And it's not fun. And I completely understand where you're coming from. However, I don't think there's a better way to do it. I've been predicting it was going to be a lottery since Worlds got announced for Japan, and I've not seen anything since then to convince me it's not going to be a lottery. This, unfortunately, was always inevitable. Right, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know. That's the reason. And now, well, as far as I'm concerned, at least, obviously, I don't speak for Pokemon, but I've taught business for a bunch of years. This seems pretty obvious to me. But now I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Austin Montville, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout-out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.